Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today we have an update because Funky Dineva wanted to respond to what he said the other night about the reason that Messy Mondays got canceled. And, the clown show is back, you guys. The clownery has returned, and we're going to talk about it because right off the rip, Funky Dineva addresses this, but he does not address the false accusations that were made as the reasons why Black with the QUE got closed, but we'll talk about that at another point in time. In this video, we're going to talk about what Funky Dineva said and what he is saying he didn't say, and then insulting a MELOMETER. So let's recap what Funky Dineva said yesterday.
Anyway, Dr. Heavenly stopped doing Married to Medicine, the Monday review thing with Carlos King because all the Melody fans kept calling her office.
Let's play that again.
Anyway, Dr. Heavenly stopped doing Married to Medicine, the Monday review thing with Carlos King because all the Melody fans kept calling her office.
Keep that in mind, y'all, where he says, quote, all of the Melody fans keep calling the office. And so we have just moments ago what he says on this live.
So y'all remember yesterday, I think it was yesterday's show or the day before yesterday's show, when I was talking about some of these shows have gotten out of line. Some stuff is, ridiculous. Some of these fans go way too far. And I started speaking about how Dr. Heavenly opted to not do Carlos King's Monday anymore because the Melanie Cherie fans started calling her dental office. So everybody knows I put the post up on Instagram where I say what y'all want me to talk about. And here is the proof as a content creator that I'm talking about in reference where sometimes the job just becomes too much when you're dealing with crazy members of the public. First and foremost, the fact that any self-respecting adult found it in them a day later to put this comment and then to put it on a post that has nothing to do with Love and Marriage Huntsville proves in itself that some of y'all are just slow. And it says, I am a Dr. Melody Cherie Rogers fan, and I certainly did not call Dr. Heavenly's office. So please stop saying all of Melody's fans called Dr. Heavenly's office. So let me pause right there. Number one, I don't remember ever saying all of Melody's fans called Dr. Cherie's office. I don't remember ever saying that. I don't speak like that. Even if I did say, child, because if I said it in jest. Even if I did say, and child, all Melody fans was up there calling Dr. Heavenly office. You have got to be one slow SOB to honestly take that literally and think that it meant every single last fan. I hate that we have come to a place in 2024 that the moment you even make a statement, you have to qualify it by saying some, not all, some, not all. Come on now. As people who live and breathe and who are over the age of 18. But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to take a moment because Jamie Main 18 wanted some attention, so I'm going to give it to you. You are simply a slow, desperate, need to be loved, and want somebody to pay attention to you so bad individual that you honestly thought somebody was talking to you, of all people. Jamie Main 18. For you to sit back wherever you are, however you sitting, and to think that somebody is actually specifically talking about you, somebody who we've never met and never seen, you have mental illness. Secondly, the fact that you call her Dr. Melody Cherie Rogers is ridiculous. We're not going around honoring these hoes with these doctorates.
Wow.
If it ain't Dr. Maya Angelou, if it ain't Dr. Angela Bassett who get a doctorate degree from some school in acting, we not going around honoring any of these girls or guys that got doctorate degrees from these second-rate colleges. We're not doing that.
Wow.
And can Dr. Heavenly prove that Dr. Melody Cherie's fans called her office? Please stop presenting such. So she absolutely can prove it based on the rhetoric that the fans were using. I can't even believe I'm taking time out to address it, but it's a slow news day. The simple fact that you hopped on here trying to gather me, talking about I need to provide proof, not knowing that we already got proof, it just further shows that you're slow. And here is the thing. Let me make things plain and let me make things perfectly clear. I don't have an issue with Melody. Melody was just an example of, you can take out Melody's name and put in Nicki Minaj's name. You can put in Cardi B's name. You can put in all the various names of different groups. The overall point that you seem to miss, because you're probably slow and stuck somewhere between low functioning and not functioning on the spectrum, is the simple fact that nobody was talking to you specifically and nobody was talking about every single last fan. We're not that stupid, man. And y'all sitting up here riding for people who wouldn't spit on y'all if y'all was on fire.
Isn't that most people though?
Nevertheless, we gonna move the hell on.
So that was 5.5 minutes or so of somebody who claims that they don't have an issue with Mel, but took nearly 6 minutes to drag a comment that, to your point, you said that the topics had nothing to do with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Well, to your point, the topics yesterday had nothing to do with Love and Marriage Huntsville. You randomly inserted Melody Cherie and Dr. Heavenly into a rant about Cardi B. Can you make it make sense? But you kept reiterating that you did not say all of the MELOMETERS, all of the Mel fans, and I want to remind you that you did.
Dr. Heavenly stopped doing the Monday review thing with Carlos King because all the Melody fans kept calling her office.
All the Melody fans kept calling the office. That is why you are getting the backlash, Funky Dineva. It is okay to be held accountable and say, you know what? I misspoke. I shouldn't have said all of the Melody fans, because when you say all, that means everyone. If you said some Melody fans, or there were a couple of Melody fans that got out, but even if you said all of that, the fact that you're saying the proof that it is a MELometer or a Mel fan is because of the quote-unquote rhetoric? What? So the person didn't even identify themselves as a Mel fan or a MELometer, but you can have a certain rhetoric, you guys, and be classified as a MELometer. Can you make it make sense? What type of logic is that, you guys? So basically, is what you're saying, because I believe it was Marceau that called Mel supporters deplorables and said that they were like Trump supporters, correct? So basically, if you speak MAGA talk, right? If you speak MAGA talk, you're automatically a Trump supporter. So what is the rhetoric that is being classified as a MELometer? See, we're going down a very dangerous road right now. A very dangerous road. And not only that, also trying to, again, you spent all this time to basically, you have all these followers on both of your YouTube and Instagram platforms, but you wanted this attention, Funky Dineva. You wanted this smoke because you saw all of the content creators that were doing videos on you today dragging you. So nonetheless, you wanted this because you wanted the extra attention. You wanted people to continue to talk about you and continue to fuel this hate against Mel, because there was no reason to address this. If you're going to stand 10 toes down, you're going to stand 10 toes down. And here's the thing, too. The unnecessary shade about Mel's doctorate was completely and utterly unnecessary. Did you throw the same level of shade for Sheree Whitfield's doctorate from Real Housewives of Atlanta? Did you throw the same shade? See, what we're not going to do is pick and choose who we're going to acknowledge honorary doctorates for and who we're not, because that's kind of lame. Either you think honorary doctorates are dumb across the board, or you don't, or you only want to call it dumb and from quote-unquote second-rate colleges because you don't like Melody Cherie, right? But I bet you if it was Marceau that got that doctorate, or if it was Tisha that got that honorary doctorate, you would be doing the most. And you would be addressing them as Dr. Marceau Scott, as Dr. Tisha Scott. So please miss me with this fake outrage that if they got the same type of doctorate from the same university as Mel, you guys would be pulling the same type of foolishness. I just don't, I'm not here for the hypocrisy. Let's not do the hypocrisy. Let's not do the double standards, right? If it was Martel, that was Dr. Martel Hole, you would be rubbing it in, you guys. You would be rubbing it in, but because of somebody that you don't like, you want to do a whole investigation into the university. I've never seen any other black celeb or black reality star. Nobody cared to investigate where their honorary doctorates are from. Can you make it make sense? But nonetheless, you know, if you have to classify and quantify, oh, I don't have a problem with Melody Shree, even though you know you've talked reckless about her in the past, you have a problem with Melody Shree. And you have a problem with their fans. And I don't believe, oh, this rhetoric, oh, that's the reason it's a millimeter. No. You got to come better than that. You got to come harder than that. What is the evidence? What are the facts? What are the receipts? What did the person say? Did they identify themselves as millimeters? Did they identify themselves as Mel supporters? Because if they were just talking smack to talk smack, then this is all null and void. And if they are just a general Love and Marriage Huntsville fan, doesn't mean that they're just Mel fans. Because, like I've said before in several videos, a lot of fans don't like any of the cast. A lot of the fans don't see it for any of the cast. But isn't it, you know, dumb and low vibrational to assume that everything goes wrong in the cast, that anything that is negative that is impacted by the cast to blame the millimeters? Isn't that dumb too? Doesn't that equal low vibrational and somebody just sitting at home with nothing to do, slow news day, like blah, 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 blah. Like, isn't that all the same arguments? That you can't open up your mind to the thought process that there's other fans out there that can't stand this show? That other fans out there that can't stand this cast, that can't stand Carlos King, that can't stand any of these people, and will troll everybody regardless because they're sick of the BS, they're sick of the nonsense, they're sick of the fakery that is coming from everybody. But people didn't like Dr. Heavenly even before she started reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's what's so funny. She's given out her number before. She has said before that people have called her place of business before. This was before Love and Marriage Huntsville reviews are happening. But now it's convenient to tie this all to millimeters, right? Because when Dr. Heavenly initially said she was done doing Messy Mondays, she all of a sudden appeared on a future Messy Monday episode. As if to get the people talking, as if to get the people going. But what we're not going to do is lie. What we're not going to do is put everybody into a box, and then when you get called out for putting everybody into a box, say, I didn't call everybody into a box, that's stupid. But then we just played the audio several times of you putting everybody into a box. Of you saying all of the Mel fans called Dr. Heavenly's business, called her office, when that is not a factual statement. And then when asked for receipts, you said, oh, it's because it's the rhetoric. That's not a receipt, Funky Dineva. The rhetoric? So we can say that about pretty much anybody. Anybody can talk like anybody, as far as I'm concerned. If you watch somebody enough, if you study somebody enough and listen to how they talk and their lingo and how they, you know, different slang and stuff that they use, anybody can be anybody. You can impersonate anybody. There's people who have troll accounts that will have pictures of celebrities as their profile picture and they hate that celebrity and you think it's a fan. But they're really trolling the celebrity.
But having that picture gets them a bunch of followers because people think that they actually are rooting for that celebrity until they start to look at their social media account and realize they're trolling. But what we're not going to do here is play games with the people and insult the intelligence of the fans and of the audience. You had no reason, and then you wanted to make it a point to show that screenshot of that comment, show the screenshot to let the people know that you blocked her. So it is a thing. You are good friends with Carlos King. You are good friends with Dr. Heavenly. And you are good friends with Tasha K. So it is not out of the realm of this being a come to Jesus meeting and a meeting of the minds and saying, what can we do to drum up talk for the show? What can we do to drum up the hate train again, once again for Melody Cherie? It's not enough with Carlos King's Messy Monday show. It's not enough of when him and Dr. Heavenly were unnecessarily throwing shade at Mel. It wasn't enough when, we had all of the drama taking place that Martel tried to contact Tasha K and tried to spill some fake tea on Mel and the bodyguard. That wasn't enough. It's not enough of this second-rate reality with the King Huntsville show, another show that Carlos King has axed you out of. And, another opportunity to play clips that is bashing the MELOMETERS once again, to play clips, to set it up for Mel to get dragged once again. Nobody else is getting dragged. Nobody else is getting called any names. Nobody else is getting a 6-minute segment about their fan base, you guys. And then elevating the MELOMETERS on the level of the Beehive and, the Barbs and Barty Gang, it is crazy. If the MELOMETERS have that much clout and the MELOMETERS have that much power, all of the MELOMETERS, and I said all this time, all of the MELOMETERS, all of the Mel supporters need to be calling OWN and Discovery Channel and Carlos King and asking for them to run them the check and to run them the money, or like Rihanna says, bleep better have my money. Because that is the power that you guys are giving the MELOMETERS. That is the power that you're giving the Mel supporters with all this attention and all of this nonsense and all of this tomfoolery. But here is the thing. I don't care who you like or dislike. But what we're not going to do is lie on people to push more hate somebody's way. Mel has been minding her business. Mel is not paying attention to any of y'all. And y'all continue to run your mouth about her. But then saying that she's doing all these things and she's doing nothing. She's just trying to run her businesses and raise her kids. But because you thought so bad that Martel was something, you actually believed Martel and his delusions, that he actually was something, and you thought that Mel was going to be the one out here on the streets, needing Martel, needing to stay married to him for relevance and for clout and for status. And it was Mel that glowed up and is richer now than she ever was with Martel, and none of you can handle it. So all you have is hate and slander, right? So you tried it with the friendships, trying to, get everybody pinned against her. You tried it with Martel and Carlos King, allegedly trying to pin the cast against Mel, hoping that was going to make her get off the show for good. When that didn't work, when all of these tactics didn't work, you had certain bloggers now all of a sudden change their tune and are anti-Mel channels and all these things. Very obvious switch up and all of the things, trying to balance out the tides and everything else. But people saw through the shenanigans that they were doing as well, so it didn't work. Then you tried this season to just do a full full-on attack on a fan base, and that fan base being the MELOMETERS. We're never going to see a storyline where it's about the Destinators or the Storm Chasers or the T-Squad doing madness. It's only going to be about MELOMETERS and MEL supporters that did X, Y, and Z, and nobody is ever going to have receipts. Nobody is ever going to self-identify that they actually are a MELOMETER. Nobody's ever going to actually say what the quote-unquote MELOMETER rhetoric is. That's crazy. And, to verify anything. Because as long as you put out it was the MELOMETER's fault, you already know what the reaction is going to be. And people, unfortunately, are going to take it and run with it. And people, unfortunately, are going to believe it. But nonetheless, that is why people like me are here to call out the BS and set the record straight. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.